Tonight's dinner is going to be a one-pot meal, and we're having green beans, chicken, and wild rice. And I promise you, you're going to love it. You're going to want to put it together. You can actually put most of it together, put it into a Ziploc bag, and place it right into your vessel that you're going to cook it in. But tonight, I kind of broke things apart because I want you to see how to do it. So let's get our green bean chicken casserole together. I'm Leona Dooley, and this is Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. Now, I'm sure you've heard of green bean casserole, but what you haven't done probably is, number one, to make the green bean casserole with rice, or a regular rice, or a wild rice, and you certainly probably haven't put your chicken into it so that you could cook it all at the same time. And that's what we're going to do. Now, we're going to start it out. We kind of have to do it a little bit in stages at this point, but it's going to be delicious and you are going to love it. So I've got my handy dandy cooking spoons right here so we can use them for whatever we need. So I'm going to turn you down. We're going to get the chicken seasoned and ready to go. Then we'll get the green beans ready to go. And I've got everything else pretty well prepped. So we can put this dinner together quickly. I'm using 3 thighs. You can certainly decide on what type of chicken that you decide that you want to use. You could really even do this with a rotisserie turkey, or a rotisserie chicken, but I didn't have one. So we're going to do it from scratch. So in my bag that I have here with my chicken, I'm going to add in a couple of teaspoons of granulated garlic. In fact, I'm going to put a heaping teaspoon that I'm going to sprinkle in. Give it a good sprinkle. I'm going to do the same with some pepper. And I'm going to put in a good heaping teaspoon of pepper because we want our food, and we're seasoning really almost for the whole dish. So our pepper's in, our granulated garlic is in. Let me get the tops on those so I won't accidentally knock them over. So garlic check and pepper check. Now, I'm not going to add any salt in at this point. I'm also going to add in some onion powder. I got that. And I'm going to put in a heaping teaspoon of onion powder. Now notice, I'm seasoning for everything because the juices from the chicken are going to run into the rice and the green beans. So we will season them very little. I also want some paprika, and because I want good color in my dish. So I'm going to put in a teaspoon of paprika. There we go. All right, I have some parsley flakes already taken care of, and we're ready to go. We got everything we need. So check, check, check with the onion powder, the garlic powder, the pepper, and the paprika. Now, if you like a little ginger in yours, you could do that. But I'm good where I am. So I'm going to take this and make sure I have everything off the spoon. This spoon's going to go in the sink. And I'm going to zip it up. And then I'm going to give everything a good mix. Now, yes, these have been frozen. And they're still just a little bit hard, but I'm not quite ready to put them into the oven anyway. So that's why I'm giving it a good zhuzh. Now, okay. So there we go. Now I've got chicken in there. The chicken's all ready to go. And you know, I could have done this in advance, but then I would have had to make sure that these particular chicken thighs were used for what we wanted. Now, so chicken thighs, Check. So I'm going to sit those off to the side. Let's talk about those green beans. I have whole green beans that I froze. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take my knife and just kind of give them a little chop. I'm chopping them into about 1-inch pieces. That way, they're going to be easy to eat and easy to handle. They'll cook faster, and that's what I wanted to do. And since I'm just preparing for the big guy myself, I'm not sure that I'm going to need this entire package. So that's another reason why it gives me an opportunity to look at what I have, how much that I have. And I'm going to put the green beans that I'm definitely going to use into a vessel. Okay, I've got some, and I'll give you kind of a measurement in just a little while, but I'm going to take out a few more because we do like green beans. And I can save the last of these green beans to use in some soup. So I'm going to put those off to the side, and I'm just going to give these kind of a rough chop. There we go. Get them into their little pieces. I'm not chopping in cube size. We're just chopping them into about 1-inch pieces. And if you have little ones, that's probably a good size for them as well. Because, you know, they may not like a whole piece of green bean like an adult might. Okay, so we have all the green beans right there. And I am going to lightly season these green beans. Like I said, no salt yet, because the salt is going to be in that chicken broth that I'm going to be adding into the mixture. So this time, I'm not going to really measure out the measurements. I'm just going to sprinkle them a little bit of garlic, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of onion powder, and I'm going to use my spoon and just give them a good toss. Now, I could do this the night before, put them back in their bag, and let them stay, or even put it into a plastic container, and then that way I could just put everything into the casserole. Now we're going to be cooking this using my cast iron skillet, and it's a dual-handled cast iron skillet, and it bakes wonderfully for a casserole, as well as anything else that you may want to prepare, or what you would normally use your cast iron for. So here are green beans, and just to give you a rough estimate, we have, I'm pretty sure, close to about 2 cups. This is a 4 cup. So let's see how close I am. Well, we're closer to about 3 cups of green beans. 3 cups of green beans right there, ready to go. And I'm going to take my spoon, make sure I have all the spices since I used that. And I'm going to put all of that right there into the container. Voila. So I'll put the top on this. I've got it ready. So when it's time to put this together just before dinner, we are good to go. Now, this is my wild rice blend that I'm going to be using, and it's called Lundberg Wild Rice. I got this at Kroger, and we're going to probably cook, I'm going to put for just us about 1.5 to 2 cups of wild rice, and then get everything nice and mixed up. So let me get a bowl and we can start to do some mixing. We're going to place our rice into this bowl, and we're going to get it rinsed off just a bit. So I'm going to, I have my measuring cup. What did I do with it, guys? Do you see it? I don't think I pulled it out. So let's get that. There we go. 1 cup. Ready to go. And we're going to put in about 2 cups. So let's pour in 1. And you know, the thing about when you're making a chicken and rice, any kind of chicken and rice, you want to make sure, number 1, that you have plenty of rice, because you know it's going to double and it's going to go quite a way. But you know, just the rice itself the next day is delicious. Now I'm going to leave about 1 cup in there that I can use in some soups. So there we go. That was about 1.5 cups. I'm going to get this rinsed off under some water, and then I'll bring you right back. Okay, I have my rice in the container, and it's been rinsed off. I'm going to add in those seasoned green beans. Get those in. I have my dishwasher empty, so I'll get all of this added into the dishwasher so it'll be ready. Giving everything a good toss. Now, I'm not exactly sure how much liquid I'm really going to use, but I have some chicken broth that I've added. I'm going to put in the first cup and see how far that goes. Okay, we need a little more. That's 2. Okay, let's see how that'll do. Now, that's just straight chicken broth. Now, I'm going to add in a touch of cream of mushroom soup. Because you know, that's what we do. Get a clean spoon. I'm going to put in about 1/2 can. 1/2 can. Cream of mushroom. Set this off to the side. Give all of that a good stir. And you could certainly add more. I think I will, since it's not that much left in there. And we like our rice a little moist. Okay. Now, one more thing. I'm going to add in some mushrooms, and I'm using jarred mushrooms. And the reason for that is because that's what I have on the shelf. And you know, if you're stocking your pantry and you're putting some things in your pantry, you want things that you know are going to be shelf stable. So I'm showing you some ways to use your mushrooms if you like mushrooms. You know, they're going to be delicious. You know, chicken and mushrooms, or green beans with mushroom, rice with mushrooms. You see where I'm going? And you know, ta-da! This is a 5.3 ounce jar. So about, I'd say about 1/2 cup, a little over 1/2. So there's our green beans, there's our mushrooms, our rice, and all of that is mixed. Now, I hope you know that you are always welcome to the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. And you know, I'm Leona Dooley. And so I want you to be right here in the kitchen with me every time I'm preparing an evening meal. It could be evening, afternoon. This just happens to be evening today. And so I want you to be here, and I don't want you to miss out on a thing. So be sure to subscribe. And you know what? If you have some suggestions of something else that I might be able to do with this wild rice blend, because this will be the first time that I've tried this particular recipe using it, then certainly put that down in the comment box so that we can all know what it is. And guys, this was not on the October one plan for 1 month. This is something I saw I had in the pantry and thought, I think I could do that. Let's see if we can put that together. So I'm always trying things, and I want to bring you along with me. So let's get back to the mixing. You know, this mixture smells so good. I could just get a spoon and start slurping, just as if it were soup. But you know what? It's not ready yet. So we are going to get this good and mixed. We're going to get it into its pan, and we're going to get it into a 400-degree oven. And the plan is to cook it for 1 hour covered, and then we'll take it out and give it probably another 15 minutes because we want those little chicken thighs to get nice and crispy. The chicken has been marinating in its spices, and we're going to take it out and place it into this beautiful liquid. And what we're going to do, we've also taken care of the oven. The oven's going to come up to 400 degrees. We're going to cover our pan with foil and let it bake for 1 hour at the 400 degrees. At the end of that time, we'll take the foil off and let it continue cooking for another 15 minutes so that the skin on the chicken can be nice and crispy. I baked this chicken and wild rice green bean casserole for 1 hour covered. Took the cover off and then allowed it to continue to bake for another 15 to 20 minutes. Now, that last 15 to 20 minutes will be determined by your oven. This dinner smells delicious, and it certainly was delicious. You know, the skin turned out perfect. It was almost as crispy as if we had fried it on the stovetop, but we didn't. We did it in the oven, and we did it all in one pan. So all the prep can be done in advance. Put it in your pan, and you are ready to go. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Let's start today getting our kitchen ready for the holidays. And I hope you're going to be with me each week so that you will know what I'm doing, and it will remind you to do some of those things right there in your kitchen. So let's stay together, let's prepare together, and let's make sure that our families are certainly supported right here in the kitchen with great meals, lots of love and encouragement. And not only will we encourage each other, we're going to do it around the table, and we're going to do it one meal at a time.